ideas, our best ideas up there, and then we'll evaluate those four, or we could just do three. So that was the plan. So I'm just going to get started. I did markers and paper because that's the way I work. So because it took me less time to do it this way than figure out how to do it on the computer. Okay, so these were our ideas that I took from last session. I eliminated some, like there was one,
the rhetorical one,
a tent out front.
Yeah.
I eliminated putting it in central just because central is already really not a good, I mean, it's already lacking in space. So that left the high school, middle school for this building. And these are our ideas. The bus barn was another one we had. Putting up a new building on campus. Update the current building where it is. Rent a building somewhere else. Purchase, what's that say? I can't read upside down. Purchase existing building off campus. So something that's already constructed. Using Fillmore Elementary. And if there's any other ideas, we can add those now. Any other ideas that weren't listed here? Okay. All right. So you each have a marker.
Did you guys have any?
We're just gonna start passing these around in this folded area. Just put a star or an asterisk if you like the idea. You each get 3. Okay.
We only get 3.
You get 3.
Top 3.
Yeah, in creative problem solving, they're called hits. So you get to hit 3 times.
Okay.
Now, if you want to use all 3 on one idea, that's your choice. Okay. And then once they all go around and everybody's had a chance, we'll just tally them up, and the 4 that have the most hits will be our 4 ideas, depending on how it comes
So
out.
we're using the sports analogy for critical thinking.
Really?
Hits.
So
Thinking came first.
So we'll just pass like this way. I guess that's clockwise. Okay. And use your marker in the folded thing and use your 3 hits. So if you want, I'll read the ideas again. Here in this building, update the current building, rent a building, purchase existing building, use Fillmore Elementary, use the bus barn, a new building off campus. I already said that one, didn't I?
Is this a kinetic activity where we walk, or is this with pass?
No, we're just going to pass. So
Okay.
you each see each one. You have a
Okay,
chance to vote on each one.
I like
Okay.
that.
Oh, no.
You're not passing.
You're already not.
You weren't instructed to pass yet.
Why start now in life?
I'm going to do here. Okay. This way. We're going this way.
We're going just clockwise.
One more. Fillmore.
Just to make sure. Okay, pass that to Aaron. Aaron's a part. Aaron, you're a part of this.
I thought of you.
I didn't. We were questioning, thinking it was just the board.
Right. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
That's why I passed to Joe.
No, I've asked Aaron to sit in as our financial officer.
And so we pass.
Pass clockwise.
And we are to mark.
3 stars. You get 3 hits. So try to keep track.
I just struck out. There's 3. I need that one back for just a second.
Did you do 2 marks on that one? Did you do twice on that one?
Yeah.
We should have put our initials.
I think that's illegal.
Nope.
You said you could use 3 on?
Yes. You can use your 3 hits however you want them, wherever you want them.
Okay. I'm gonna keep an eye on your vote.
Do I just keep going? Everybody got them?
If you made your 3 hits,
You good?
You're struck out too. Here you go.
We got this one. Yeah, you started with that one.
I did.
Not farmer. Okay. I think that's it. I got all of them.
okay. I've seen them all. Okay, so we've got 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna take the ones out. 1. Wow. Wow.
So there's a 2 one in there, right? We're just taking
Uh-huh.
top 2 or top 3. There's a 2 one in there.
Okay. Okay, so our 3 ideas are purchase an existing building off campus, put a new building up, or use the middle school, high school. Okay. So that's somebody want to do this? I'll do it.
What do you need?
Just put these up there under the ideas. Okay, so then as Lee does that, these were the criteria that we had come up with, that we brainstormed as a group last session, that it's financially prudent, that it's secure and contained, that it's adequate storage and workspace, that it reduces operational costs, the location is efficient, and there's available space for everything. That might be kind of redundant. And there's no impact on student learning. Okay, so those are our criteria by which we'll judge. Does anyone want to take any of these off or add any?
That's the again.
Yeah. Just call them off.
Call them off.
Yeah, and then I'll put them up so everybody can think about it.
Oh, did you want me to put the tape on there? Did you want me to finish that?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to continue putting the tape on there. Sorry. I didn't want to overstep. I did that.
I'm sorry. My scribbles.
Appreciate you, Lee.
Okay.
I can
No
interpret.
impact on student learning.
The workspace, that was it.
Yeah.
Okay, Lee, bring those up here. We'll read them off. and
Reduce
discuss them.
cost. Yeah.
Bring these up there?
Yeah.
Where are they going?
They're going to go this way.
Efficient.
Available. Have those.
Yeah, that was yeah.
Thank you. And then
Is
the
that why
way,
you got them on an angle?
he says I cut the angle.
Yes.
Oh, we did. Okay. So there's
You want with me?
no impact on student learning. The location is efficient. So, yeah. And then what we'll do, we'll each rate each idea or each idea per criteria with a 1 through 5 score. 5 being absolute, 1 being marginal, 3 being it's okay.
This
Okay.
is, we got to fix this.
Okay, you do that. So available space. Reduces operational costs. Adequate storage and workspace. Do I have that available space? Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that is different.
You're stressing me out here.
You're stressing me. Secure and contained. We talked about restrooms and talked about people that would come into the office. That was what that one came from. And financially prudent. In other words, well, I guess self-explanatory, isn't it?
Yeah.
And some of these, this is why I asked Erin to weigh in on her score as well, just because I think she has, she and Dr. Smith both have a better idea about that, but especially Erin who's dealing with that. As far as operational costs and all that, um, that's the operational cost fund. That's the one that's going to be most affected by the whatever the state does.
Do we have a baseline of what it actually costs us to provide lights and,
$25,000 a year,
Well, there-
and that is if everything runs as it should.
without repairs?
That right, and this is my third or fourth year in that building, and there have always been repairs because
And do we have a ballpark of what those repairs have cost over the last 5 to 10 years? Let's just say 3 to 5 years.
no, because it depends upon what it is. Septic system, that fix is different than an HVAC system or the door that continues to not work.
And I imagine those expenses aren't coded by building, are they?
Well, they are coded by building, but it is our building. It's all the same building. But if you mean what were those expenses for, like general expenses to fix HVAC or any of those, if those were coded by building 3 years ago, no.
Are preventive maintenance costs coded differently than emergency maintenance or like
No,
routine maintenance, or
no, because it's maintenance of the building.
it's
That's
just
in
maintenance?
Maintenance of the building, and those
So-
are mandated by the State Board of Accounts.
So in theory, you could look at overall maintenance costs of the building in addition to this. I assume this 25K is utilities,
That is what it costs just
utilities with no maintenance.
Correct.
But we could get a total maintenance cost.
It would take some time for sure, because the bus barn is also under the corporation number 6705, which is what the admin building is under. So
So it's to separate all that.
So it's
Yeah,
not,
it-
it's not
and-
coded by a
and-
specific building then.
no, and up until a year ago, almost all expenses were coded to until we started breaking them out by building. So I
That'd
mean,
be a
it can be
big-
done, but
be a big
it's going to
To be
take
extensive.
quite
Yeah.
Okay.
quite
Okay,
Sorry to
so for our purposes tonight, if we just have a general idea, which again is why I had Erin weigh in with her evaluation, because her score may differ because of all the details she's aware of, as well as Dr. Smith. So this is what I would like to do. I think it'll work and it'll be pretty fast. I've asked Alexa just to keep a tally of what our score is, and if we could just go around quickly, she can write the score down, and then we'll do a average score for each one of those things. Does that make sense? I think we can do that pretty quick. You think we can?
I don't know.
And to clarify, no impact on student learning. Something that had no impact on student learning would be a 1. Something that had a lot of impact. How do we want to rate
Yeah,
it?
how's this scoring?
Should we-
How's this going?
I don't-
This was the
5 good,
for me.
1
5
bad.
is good, 1 is bad.
Right.
5 is good, 1 is bad. So
Okay.
no impact on student learning. If there's absolutely no impact on student learning, they don't even know what's going on,
Right.
then that would be a 5.
Yeah, gotcha.
Is that,
My mind was saying impact on
I
student learning.
know,
but
I know. So is there anything else up there that we need to clarify?
Yeah. Location efficiency. So 5 is very
Location
efficient.
efficiency, that would just be, the location would be efficient for everybody that needs to go from the admin office
whatever.
to wherever they need to go. So,
Mhm.
okay, to save wear and tear on vehicles, or to save, like Jared from traveling 20 miles to go fix a leak or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Available space, that includes like for all the documents and available space for all the office staff to work. Reduces operational cost, adequate storage and workspace. I don't know, are these two the same
They're-
in your head?
yeah.
Should we just take one down?
I don't know. Is there a difference between space available in the building versus
Oh, yes,
Oh,
that's
the
what,
workspace?
There you
yes.
go.
Maybe you put like in building or in.
Available space.
In
And that really only applies to the,
to the high
at the
school.
venue. Yeah.
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 the middle school, high school.
Yeah.
That's
True.
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 Well,
Because anything else is gonna be.
Yep.
Or
That's going to be lopsided, but that's what it's here for.
Okay. So you're okay with that, and then secure and contained, and financially prudent.
was that the same as reduces operational costs or no?
No.
Okay.
No, because
Right. Right.
it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could build a mecca and
Right.
it be not financially prudent,
Right.
and it could,
Increase
potentially it could be
reduce.
really
Yeah,
efficient, or it could be
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
Okay. So are you okay with just shouting out a number and going around? So, middle school, high school, no impact on student learning. I give it 3. Like,
2.
I would say it's 3, depending upon where it was.
Yeah,
Because I think-
depending on.
Because there are spaces in this school where I think we could go in there and if that could be labeled as a 5.
There's some I'd label it a 1.
Right, exactly.
That's why I
So
almost said 1.
right, it's difficult. That's why I say 3 on that
but
because
not,
it could go
but
either
not
way.
knowing where,
Right.
just somewhere.
Somewhere.
Knowing where it's difficult
Okay.
to give. It's
Okay,
difficult
don't
to say 3. Well, it's hard not to because it can vary.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
I mean,
We can't-
it can be a huge.
Okay, so I said 3, 2, 3.
Staying at 2.
Joe,
3.
Probably a 2.
Victory.
Alexa.
Crunching my numbers here.
Okay, be thinking about location efficiency.
How many of there are you? 6?
Right now there are. Tell how I can serve.
2.83.
3.
2.83.
Location efficiency, I give it a 5.
Same.
Same.
Five.
Okay, so that's an average of a 5, right?
It has to be different.
Well,
4 point something.
Everybody said 5 except for Lee said 4.
what's the real average? Does it come to the?
Getting technical for you.
I don't want it technical, I want it fast.
Yeah,
But-
better do it. Make that 5 into an 8. And make it 4.8. We need to be
Okay,
true to ourselves. Here.
available space. I give it a 4.
2.
5.
I'm gonna say 3.
3.
5.
Did I say 3?
Wait.
Could be
I
easy.
might go 2.
Will you do this?
I made mine a 2.
Will you do the averages?
5, 5, 5.
Taking away space for future growth that we're
Yeah.
hoping for. I don't like the whole location.
Yeah. But and this could be a temporary thing, right? It could be a temporary thing.
We good?
It would be one of those
3.6,
things.
We're
6,
open
6,
for
so
growth.
3.7.
We're just going to be sitting at the table doing the
Reduces
same thing.
operational
3.7.
To have it for kids.
It's 3.666, so it's 3.7.
Start all over.
3.7.
Right.
Reduces operational costs. Give it, I think it's 5.
4.562. 4. But I like 4. I like 4 and I like 5. 4.
5.
Say 4.
I'd say 4.
What do we got?
4.5.
Thank you. Adequate storage and workspace. I go to 4.
And it's back to it's so hard to know depending on where. 2.
I say 4.
Depending on what happens, I'm gonna have to say 3.
I want to say 2.
Let's say 4.
3.16. Repeating.
Secure and contained.
Make that a 3.2. Gotta round up. Thank you.
You're welcome. Secure and contained. I give it 4.
5.
Say 4.
That's subjective. Secure, thinking about some of the concerns before, like it would be more challenging than a standalone building.
You're not comparing the two.
I understand,
Okay.
but like in my mind, a standalone building would be very secure. No students in or out. You know what I mean? Like it's a safe space.
But not just secure from students, also
get it.
secure
I
from
get it.
It's not very
community.
secure up there at
Yeah.
5 o'clock in the morning. I can do that. I'm the only one in the building.
Working late.
Yeah.
4.
Oh, sorry.
4.
4.
Lisa, what was yours?
Lisa, what was yours?
4.
That was a question. You almost said it.
When you run the video.
Right.
4 point what?
4.2.
4.2.
Technically 4.16 repeat.
4.2.
Thank you for rounding it to
The nearest
Okay.
10th.
we're doing some
Rounded,
rounding.
so,
We gotta stay consistent.
financially prudent. I give it a 5.
5.
5.
5. Yeah.
I got that one. Okay.
Unless you can sit
Purchase existing building off campus. No impact on student learning. I have to give it a 5.
Yeah, that's
5.
Yeah. 5.
if you're talking about just the, and I'm going to get into the weeds here, I'm sure, but if you're talking about just impact on student learning from a physical standpoint, then it has to be a 5. There's no other option than a 5. But if you're talking about impact on student learning due to funds being
Finances,
allocated
yeah.
towards purchasing a building as opposed to funds being allocated towards improving student learning spaces. So, and again, I'm sorry, maybe you're going to regret your decision to ask me to weigh in, but it's hard for me to give that
Yeah. No,
without
That's a good point.
That's a good
saying
point.
that is
No, okay,
Yeah.
so let's,
that is an impact on student learning.
Because you're taking.
A financial, it could be a financial impact on
What are we
student
taking
learning.
away from them by?
Right.
okay, let's do this then.
Sorry.
Because this was easier to see it all together,
Mm-hmm.
I think, because this one is separate and because we have operational costs up here.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I feel like what you're talking about on the other half, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
How what we do with our buildings and our operations affects our students and our learning environment and our teachers and all that.
Mm-hmm.
You could throw that into the financially prudent category too.
That too. So if you just isolated then impact on what would we call that? Immediate student learning.
Okay.
But-
Then
so-
yeah, you have to say 5 then.
5. Okay.
Yeah.
5.
5.
Location efficiency. Purchase of a building off campus. Location efficiency. So not knowing where it would be, or it could be anywhere, right?
Almost have to skip that, don't you? I mean,
Yeah, because it's like
My thought is
buy a house and
No, I mean,
look at
Right.
where we are right now at that location. I'm guessing it's probably not very efficient, but it could be worse.
it could be worse.
So the math gives me my answer.
I think our location now is quite efficient, but
The location's not bad right now, so
Great.
but it could be worse.
Okay, so how do you want to judge this? If we purchased in the
if it could be good, depending on where it is, it could be bad, then you can just do it at 3 and go down the middle, because you don't know.
It's in my opinion, it's never going to be a 5. It's
Right.
probably going to be a 4, but it could be a 1. So something between a 4
Right.
and a 1. So I'm going to lean toward, just because you have to get outside the building, I'm going to lean toward a 2 or 3.
I'll start with a 2.
3.
3.
2.
3.
Somebody out there doing the numbers? Gretchen, are you crunching numbers?
Are you getting that?
Oh, sorry.
She's
I'm
got it.
build a little formula.
I got everybody's, if I did you correctly.
If I had known.
I think that sounds right. Available space, that's kind of an unknown for me. So I'm going to say a 3 because if we purchased it, it would have that. So I'm just going to give it a 3.
Hard saying, not knowing. 3.
Yeah, 3.
Stick with 3. Yeah.
Reduces operational costs. Uh,
That could be a tricky
start
one.
that with
Yeah,
a
a lot
1.
of these they all are.
Because it would,
I say 1 just because, well, the reason why I'm saying 1 is because if it's off campus, it's not, by that itself, it's not going to reduce operation costs because Jared's still got another building to fix. And if it's already built, well, we all own houses that are continuing.
so yeah, if it's an existing building, it's going to have a higher maintenance than a new building with a warranty. So I would,
So I say, what did I just say? 1?
1.
Wait,
Probably say a 2.
1.
2.
1.
am I doing it?
1.5.
1.5? Thank you. Adequate storage and workspace. Again, an unknown. I'll say 2.
2. No way knowing.
Yeah, I'll say 3.
yeah, I don't think we would buy something that wasn't adequate.
That's what I
So
was
I'm going to say,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to say 4.
I'm gonna say 4.
3.
There's not just a surplus of a bunch of available buildings to purchase.
You're right. There's not.
Right now, there's not.
There's not. There's not.
Secure and contained. I would give that a 1.
Wait.
Secure and contained. If we purchased an existing building which is off campus, evaluate how secure and contained it would be. For me, it's a 1.
2.
2.
Thinking of like what that even means as far as an offsite building. Because I mean, you could, if you're buying it, it might be pretty secure.
Yeah, it
contained.
might be.
Having no clue on the location, we're
Yeah.
just throwing out numbers.
And
There's
it's
no way
average,
knowing.
I'm just going to say it's 3.
Yeah, 3. Because there's no way knowing.
The middle 2, 3.
3.
The average. 2.2.
And financially prudent.
3. I'm going 3.
I say 2, 3,
1.
1,
I'd say 1.
1,
3.
3,
2.
2. Okay, a new building on our campus here. So we've already talked about a lot of different locations and stuff, but so that's still up in the air and not anything specific with this idea. It's just building a new building. So no impact on student learning. I say 5.
5.
5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Location efficiency.
5.
5.
5.
So you can get more efficient than that.
All right.
Yeah.
On campus, yeah.
Available space. 5.
The building you're going to
Yeah,
build
build
the
it,
space you
right?
need.
You're gonna build the station.
You can build to the spec you want. Yeah.
Yep.
Right,
Yeah.
5.
Reduces operational costs. I would give it a 1.
One.
Operational costs, if it's a new building, you have less maintenance on a brand new building. So I say 3.
Say 1. And then
Oh,
so we have
that's
utilities.
three.
Said 1.3.
1.3. New building, adequate storage and workspace. 5. Well, no, I'm gonna say 4, just in case we can't afford any more than. I mean, we have to cut corners.
I'm going for 5 because if we're gonna build, you don't want to be in the same position. Why we don't have room?
4, 5,
5.
5.
I'm gonna say 3 because you're gonna be tossing between finance and space.
3.
5.
5, 4. 4.
4.3.
4.3. Secure and contained. 4,
5.
5, 5, 5.
4.
4,
5.
5, 5. 6,
4.7.
4.7. A minute. Financially prudent, new building. I give it a 1.
1.
1.
1.
2.
2. 1. What is that? 1 point something?
1.17. 1.2.
Yeah, like 2.
Yeah, over.
Okay, so Lee, you want to do our totals for us?
Yep.
Alexa, will you do this? The purchasing existing building, I mean, off campus, and then I get somebody else to do the new.
I'll do
Gretchen,
the-
you
I'll
want to
do
do
the
the
new
new building?
Go ahead,
Are we
Gretchen.
doing the total average score or the total score?
No, total. We're totaling the average.
So it's just a bunch of pluses with no
Add
divides.
them all up and divide by 7. Is that what we're done?
No,
Nope, not dividing.
Just total score.
Just the
That-
total
total.
score.
19.4 for purchasing.
28.2.
19. I'm getting rid of rounded.
Okay, 28 then for the middle school, high school.
26.5.
27.
Okay. So now we get to decide between two ideas because obviously this
Yeah.
one is not going to work. And there's a big difference. There's not much difference between these two. So we can go through the process again, or we can develop both of those ideas a little further and then make the decision.
I think there are too many real unknowns
Yeah.
to make an actual decision.
I agree. I think
Right.
you've got the cost of remodeling and the time of remodeling and of existing high school space. Right? You got that. We don't know what that might look at or where's it gonna go. Right? We don't know where it's gonna go, so you don't know the total cost of what that's gonna look like.
We have ideas.
We have
You're
ideas.
gonna have ideas. I'm sure you have ideas, but the cost of those different ideas could be different.
Okay, so just to be clear, what we're going to do, and we've got a few minutes, we can talk about it now, but what we are going to do then is develop both of these ideas to a point where we can make a more accurate decision based on our criteria. Okay, so all of these things we would want to take into consideration in developing the ideas, right? Does that make sense? Okay, so can we just start with talking about if it were here at the high school, middle school, because I know Dr. Smith has some ideas. Some of us, most of us, maybe went around the building to see spaces that could be available or might be available or aren't currently used all that much. So do you want
Or
to kind of
maybe
talk about
underused, yeah.
underused? Yeah.
Yeah, so on your desk, actually, there's an outline or a drawing of the current space, one we're sitting in right now. But this is just the northwest part of the high school. And there's three main areas that we could look to go into that we believe we could fit in. So one would definitely be tighter than the rest. But there's and then that we'll have to talk about criteria and so forth. So there's three. So the first one will be and so on your maps, if you see the entryway, which is directly to the top.
Yeah. This is the front of this office area.
Office,
Here.
yep.
Yep.
Okay, so if you enter there and go straight across,
It's blurry.
This is the front of the building, the front office building, office entrance.
Eric, can you pull that up real quick? It'll just be easier for me to point up there so you can see. These are just
Are
again.
these extra?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, I brought extra for you to put up. So here, try to blur. I had to blow up the image. So this is the area we are. We're right here right now. So this is actually one of the areas we could take some or part of this media center right now and take what goes on in here and move it to other places. So that could be there's enough square footage and so forth. It also has options for restrooms, those type of things because there's water. Because of the other restrooms that are right out here. So that this space could be repurposed for an admin type scenario and then take what's here and move other places. Obviously, there'll be some displacement in each of these moves. So that's this particular area here. And there's many different ideas about this area here. I think we're going to be a little bit short on time, but we can have some input on that, I think. So there's one. The second one is the hospitality area when you come in right off of the entrance here. And the one of the pros to that is it actually has a separate entrance. So you come in and you could go to the right to go into the admin office area. But it is a little smaller area and there'll be quite a bit of rehab or reconstruction to do in there, remodeling. But that is another particular area that answers one of the questions as far as having an external entrance. That's a second idea. Third area would be if you come straight down into those of you who know the old setup, is into the old library, which is where we have our executive sessions, and there's a lot of conference rooms back in there. And so that area, and just have to pretend right into here, there's a wall here because this is where our computer science lab is now. So there's a wall here. But there's the conference room that we have executive sessions in and so forth is here. This one is set up that actually, because we lost power last week, the team was actually working in that space just last week. So this area here is already pretty much set up to move into. There's only a couple offices in those conference rooms that are already being used. So this area would have the least amount of work to do to get it ready for an admin office, and would displace the least number of people. Downside to this particular area is that it doesn't have a separate entrance, and so you would have to come to the other. But everything is pretty much there, and it's the right size to conduct business in. So those are the three areas that we're looking at in this space now.
You kind of answered a question I had, which was if, God forbid, the other building was flooded and couldn't be occupied for a day or two or a week or two, where would you take up camp?
Expediency, why that was another thing I was the criteria I was thinking of, like expediency, like what we could do right, because we're living on borrowed time on a lot of systems out there.
Yeah.
And so I know that space. I know we'd have to displace a couple different things that are in there, but it's most of the time that's not used except for some conferences and so forth, which we could repurpose. But that could be moved in fairly rapidly, and we can just do a few little upgrades, nothing major.
So if we were to, obviously, if we were to judge that, or if we'd added the criteria of expediency, we would have had a clear, kind of a clear winner to use this here, right? Isn't that what we're saying? So can this be, my question then would be, how much would we have to do to this building if we just wanted to do it temporarily? In other words, what's the least amount of changing
The least disruption.
and the least disruption? Um,
The
just
least,
to get it out of that building.
yes, the least amount of disruption and the least amount of cost would be to go into the old library space that I was just talking about. That would be the least, because it's pretty much ready to go. There would just, there would be some things we would want to do, tech or data wise and things like that, and we want to put up one more wall to make that conference room that's in there into 2 offices. But other than that, it's pretty much ready to go.
So as far as the secure, you would basically check a guest in as you would any guest that's coming in the building.
Mhm.
So they would go through the office the same way that anyone else would. So as far as there being a issue of being walking around the building with students that's I think that can be controlled pretty easily if you're going through the office, right?
Right. You could
Yeah,
just
right.
add a procedure where
That
Lindsay
would
or
be
somebody from the office escorts whoever's visiting.
Oh,
the
for sure.
same-
It
that
would
would
be,
be the
it would
same
need to be
procedure.
that, it would be that
Yeah.
way for sure.
What kind of guests come through the high school already that don't get vetted through?
I can't answer that because I'm not in this building.
I mean, does
Most are vetted.
does everybody go through the ID check and all that stuff?
Everybody
So
that
that
walks in the building has to, right?
Anybody that goes,
So-
Mr. Jones is nodding.
so would that mean
Better.
let's
Thank
just say let's just say some salesman wants to come and talk to Dr. Smith about something, they have to go through the ID.
Yep.
How much time does that take?
Quick,
actually never seen it in process.
isn't it? I remember when we first set it up.
Isn't it swipe of a driver's license?
Yeah, it's a driver's license.
Yes.
Because I helped him.
So,
Yeah.
2 minutes max.
2 minutes.
Okay.
If obviously we know they're coming in.
Right.
Okay.
We don't have a lot of, in our office, we tried to really cut down on drop-ins.
Right.
You know what I mean? Drop-ins, because when we've been like with set appointments for new hires that are coming, because
Sure.
that's going to be the majority of people
Sure.
that visit our office are
Sure.
prospective employees.
Right.
And those are set by.
Right. So that's going to be your quickest, right? I mean, that would be
quickest and cheapest.
quickest and cheapest. This area here, if you wanted to make it secure from the outside of the building, there's
Yes, we
there's a
correct.
window right here. You can make a door, a separate entrance, completely block it off from the school building in itself.
Correct.
You have access to restrooms right there, so you would I think that's I like that if you're going to do a more permanent, space. That would be probably that's going to be
I
your
don't like
second.
the idea of using this because of all this space that you're taking.
I don't need
away
this.
for student
That's
impact.
student
I mean,
learning.
it's just,
I don't either. I don't either. I'm just saying that if that's a construction route, but more permanent route, I like that. A new building
But
obviously is my favorite, obviously, because that's going to be your best for all the options, but minus finances.
But as far as using where the conference room is now, it would be the fastest. And it would be okay for temporary if we decide to do that. But then would it also be okay to be permanently housed there?
It's better than we have now. We just,
Well,
Storage wise, how is that looking for
it's fine.
records and
We're able to put the wall up like Dr. Smith had said. So if we could make that current conference room, which I imagine is that where you guys have the executive sessions, if we could make that into 2 offices, then I think we would be able to use the one office that's in there now for our long-term storage that we
Right.
have. And then the entryway, whatever you want to call that area where you walk into it, you know what I mean?
Right.
That space is large enough that I think we can have our the records that we're into all the time, anything that we would have up like currently now on our main floor.
Right.
I think that space is large enough to house that.
So would we need a storage area for anything that's in the basement?
No, I think we would be able to fit that in that
Okay.
other room. Like I said, if we were able to build a wall and make that one conference room into 2 offices, then I think we would have
Okay.
Okay, so for the things that would be displaced, and those are like people from Cummins that work in those offices and stuff, are there places that we can make available
We'll
for those?
make them available. Yeah, we have
for-
some ideas for that. I'm still researching some other things, but yeah, we have places we can put them.
And they
And
have
then-
they have meetings with parents and students
Yes.
too after hours.
Correct.
We've witnessed that. So
Yeah,
with that in mind, you've got other places you might be able to put.
and then Mr. Jones, you have another conference room, right, that you can use for,
I mean, we have our conference room office in our main area, and then we would likely have to use like our hospitality room, which we do something.
okay,
Have you had much conflict in doing that?
Not a lot because we're pretty organized as far as like if a class is in there or something like that, we try to avoid it, but we would.
And would the admin office have their own like conference rooms? Because you have a conference room, but it's out in the middle right now, but it's not secure, right? You have a conference table about this size, and you do some work and have some meetings, and you also have one in your office, like a small
A
conference
small
room.
one. Mm-hmm.
Would those things? Those are things you're using currently. Would those things be able to be replicated in that space?
Yeah, so what I would do is I would make my small little conference room, the bigger conference room, and just use that in the back office so you can see it. I think it's in here. Yeah, the very back one there would be where I'd have my office. Then I also have a little bit larger conference table. We could have those types of meetings in there, and then our like ATMs is where our biggest our administrative team meetings is where we are out in the big room. But we would just host those over in the hospitality room, which is how we did it when I first came here.
I still think the whole thing's a Band-Aid and we're going to revisit the whole thing sooner than later because we're all anticipating population growth with field house, let's attract more students. And then when we grow in another couple of years with what we're hoping and anticipating, then we're back to square one. Now we don't have room for student embeds. I think we're going to revisit this sooner than later, but I guess
but I think given the volatility, if you will, of what goes on at the State House every so many years, right? I mean, we're always trying to figure out ahead, and I mean,
I hope you're right. Honestly,
I do. hope you're
I
right.
do
And
too.
that's the good thing about this is
Right.
that could then it's a way to go into now, and it's pretty much set up.
Yeah,
And
it's
it can be
minimal cost.
retrofitted.
if it's truly minimal cost and if not too many changes, because what you don't want to do is spend the money
Right.
and then have wasted it because now you're redoing it again.
What about
no room for the kids.
what about restrooms?
Got new rooms.
How would you, because there's no restroom availability.
They're just usually the existing staff restrooms.
So go to the office, use existing staff restroom. Okay.
That's
I
a
think
compromise.
there's no real structural design or no, I believe as far as saving money and getting it done on time, I believe our best bet would be to do this in-house and not go through Fanning Howie and to do this in-house. That's my opinion about this. I think it could be done by a local guy, or a guy or gal, shouldn't be that way, but and I believe it would get done a lot faster because I don't see any architectural drawings that would have to be. There's no structural support in here. Like you're not going to make
only adding one
construction.
wall. That's it.
Right, and so I think that would be to use Fanning Howie would be I think it would be a waste. That's my opinion.
No, we weren't even anticipating doing that,
Perfect.
which is why I said it was minimal cost.
That's perfect. On the same page. That's good.
Okay, thank you all. This was great.
But yeah,
And it
thank you.
didn't take as much time as what.
Thanks for doing that. Yes, getting that set up.
That's a good idea.
Okay, so we'll take a break here so I can help rearrange the tables and then we'll get started on the